Okay, hi everyone. I just did a little bit of thinking after playing Reed's List and all of that, and I really liked a lot of aspects and elements from his list. But I also thought that there was a little bit of room for improvement, or at least room for me to put my own little twist on it, where I sort of enjoy what I'm playing, or I think it's more suited to me. All right, so. If you have noticed, in between the first and the second match that I did with Reed's List, I removed Cartouche and put in Sentinel's Eyes. So that was two Cartouche of Solidarity for two Sentinel's Eyes. I think that was a really good efficiency swap. I do think First Strike's important, and it's going to be important with your Keen Sense and your Rancor and being able to attack forward and do all of that. But Vigilance is also really, really important in the deck. And if you don't have Daybreak Coronet, sometimes you're not going to attack if you don't have Vigilance. Where Sentinel's Eyes, you got that on board, you're pretty good. The other benefit of Sentinel's Eyes is that it will actually allow you to cast more than one aura potentially from your graveyard each turn with Lurus, which I think is a very, very powerful effect to have. Particularly after a board wipe. So what I've actually done is I've removed one Keen Sense, I've removed one Spirit Link, and I've added in I've removed the two All That Glitters as well. I've added in the two Suppression Field and two Savage Swipe. I think I can still keep a 19 land base. But yeah, basically I was stuck at wanting to adjust my sideboard numbers again, and I think that with the sideboard cards I'm wanting to have included, like there's a fair bit that I wanted to have included. So I wanted my ley lines, I wanted my force, I wanted my Lurus, I still want Gadok Teague, I want Torpor Orb, Tormod's Crypt, and Grafdigger's Cage. So we saw Rest in Peace didn't do anything against that blue black meal deck, or there was also a blue white one I think, or blue green one, something like that. And yeah, so the one that has to play creatures with converted mana cost equal to 2 or less. So we saw that Rest in Peace didn't do anything against them. So I think Torpor Rob's going to be better. It's going to be good against humans. It's going to be good against Bank Control. There's a whole wide variety of decks that's going to be good against. That stupid Flicker deck with it, Yorion as the companion. So yeah, Tormod's Crypt is going to have really good synergy with Lurus. So it only exiles our opponent's graveyard, not our own. We can get it out for 0 mana, which is awesome. Grafdigger's Cage is going to be really good at switching off our opponent's Lurus. It will switch off our own as well. But hopefully we use our Keen Sense to draw and stimulate our advantage there. And it's not so much of an issue. The main reason I want Grafdigger's Cage is because there's a lot of Neoform running around, and I really don't like losing to that deck. And between Gadok Teague and Grafdigger's Cage, I've got 4 answers to Neoform. Now, I've decided to include Savage Swipe. People might think that's a little bit of an interesting one. And that it's a lot weaker than Path to Exile. That may or may not be true. But at the moment, what I'm seeing is either a lot of Lurus decks or a lot of Stoneforge Mystic decks. And this card's really good against Stoneforge Mystic. It's going to be really good against like Mono Red Prowess as well. Good against Burn. But against the Delirium decks, if we're not giving them mana, I know the creature's going to the graveyard, but if we're casting Boggle, putting on an Ethereal Armor, casting Savage Swipe, our 4/4 kills their Dark Confidant, kills their Grimflayer or their Tarmogoyf. That is so much value. Then we get to attack for 4 in that same turn. That is just an obscene amount of value and tempo, and I think it's something that we should be abusing. So yeah, other than that, that's the most of it for the list. I'm just going to adjust the land base slightly because we are running suppression fields. I think it's probably better to go down to like 4 fetch lands again. Going to make our Dryad Arbors a little bit weaker, but then our suppression fields will be less detrimental to our deck. That's not how you spell Razor Verge. Alright. So we'll bring in the 4th Razor Verge, and we'll bring in the 3rd Temple Garden. And that's not the temple we're looking for. We want the same art. I don't know why I bought differing arts. So yep, that's it for the deck there. So obviously we're going to go ahead, look to get into a league. See if we can get some play points happening. But yeah, the deck's like really sweet so far. I think it's very well placed, or at least competitive. And yeah, like super happy about it. I'm not sure what other people are thinking. But yeah, feel free to let me know. Okie dokie. So we're into the first game of the league against Matt Angry. We lost the die roll. We've got a pretty decent looking hand here. Opponent does not have a companion hand. Could be something like Tron. Could be Bank Control, something like that. The decks that don't run around with companions at the moment. Most decks choose to because, you know, 8-card hand, very good. So it looks like we're versing Ad Nauseam. This is a pretty rough one. So at the moment, what I'm going to be looking to do is get as much damage on the table as possible, as quick as possible. Obviously, and try to just knock them straight down. It's very likely that I'm going to be trying to rely on Core Spirit Dancer here to get that lethal damage. Although they could have something like Brazen Borrower to bounce our Core Spirit Dancer, or Echoing Truth. So got to be careful there as well. Alright, great. We did draw the land. So here, if we attack for 5, next turn we can attack for 8. So it'll be a 3-turn clock. If we put Core down, I think it will also be a 3-turn clock, but we have a potential to kill on turn 2, maybe. Well, like 2 attacks, not 3 attacks. So most auras we can put on Core Spirit Dancer will be 3, so she'll get 6. Ethereal Armor will be 9. Plus another is 12, so that would be an attack. So it's basically the same clock. So just going ahead and casting these auras will make it so I'm less weak to removal, right? Less weak to that bounce effect. I really hope I draw a land this turn, so I can jam both my auras. I'll be able to attack for 11 if I do. So it's just drawn and exiled, suspended a Lotus Bloom. Okay, well this isn't going to be doing too much. We're going to go ahead and cast Daybreak Coronet. Hopefully that resolves. Opponent's currently got access to 3 mana. I think they need access to 6 to go off. Unless they cast the Phyrexian Unlife, then they only need access to 5 in the following turn. So we did get a big fat attack in just now. It could be quite possible that our opponent plays a Phyrexian Unlife here. Angel's Grace. Okay, so they're just going for it. There's a Simian Spirit Guide. I'm assuming they've just got it. Yep. Okay. Okay, well, so we'll get a look at what's in their deck here. We won't get to see what's in their hand prior to that, but that's fine. The deck will be enough information. So we see at least one Pact of Negation. There's Spoils of the Vault as well as a 2-of so far. Alright. Okie dokie. So Lotus Bloom, Pentad Prism, whole bunch of cards we don't really want to see there. So Torporob's going to be really good. It's going to stop that trigger from the Thassa's Oracle. Gadok Teague will stop. Well, Torporob's a maybe, because it's sort of better with the ley line, right? Force of Vigor is going to be really good, actually. So Torporob's probably a no-go. Our opponent will be bringing in some creature removal for the Gadok Teagues. Sentinel's Eyes or Grispoon. Grispoon's probably not that important. We won't really need the flying here. We're just more concerned about getting damage on the board. Our Savage Swipe is going to be pretty completely useless. And Suppression Field's probably going to do not very much either. Because it can't stop his mana abilities, right? So it would only stop fetch ability. At the moment, it's possibly looking like we bring in the Core Spirit Dancer and the Grispoon. We'd need, like, if we're bringing in Torporob, we'd need to bring in Leyline as well, so we shut down both of their pieces, and that's just a little bit too cute for my liking. So I think this is the plan. We'll go with this. Gadok Teague and Force of Vigor. Hopefully they get us there. Hopefully these Keen Sense help us draw into it as well. It does look like we just draw the Gadok Teague, so this is looking like it's going to be a good hand. We're going to go ahead and crack our fetch land straight away. Temple Garden, take some damage. It's all good. Get Gadok Teague out there. Turn 2 is definitely going to be Core Spirit Dancer. We're going to use Core to get that clock happening. Okay, my opponent did exile a Lotus Bloom as well. It delayed the little notification a little bit for me, but we know that it's there now. So this next turn is going to be quite interesting. We'll be able to cast a second Core Spirit Dancer and one Hyena Umbra, and we'll be able to use that to attack for 3-4 with the Glade Cover Scout. But what's going to happen the following turn is we're going to be buried in cards that we're drawing, and we're going to actually possibly be able to make a Core Spirit Dancer that is big enough to do first strike damage and deal lethal, and then the other Core Spirit Dancer can, like, one does first strike damage, one does non-first strike damage, and then we're happy because we can get past a Phyrexian Unlife, right? Alright, so I sort of butchered the explanation, but we got there in the end. It's looking really good. We do have 2 auras in hand. Neither of the auras in hand are first strike auras. So if they rush the Phyrexian Unlife here, we can potentially do something quite nifty. So Lotus Bloom's coming off of Suspend next turn, which means we probably want this Gadok Teague on the table. I'm going to lead on Rancor, and I'm going to put that on the Core Spirit Dancer without the Hyena Umbra, keeping in mind that whole first strike thing we just talked about. Alright, so we drew double land. Not ideal. So now we're going to put this Grispoon on the same Core Spirit Dancer. See what we draw. Alright. Now, if we go for the win here, our opponent could just Angel's Grace. So the safer line is Gadok Teague, but also they could just dismember the Gadok Teague. I think we just attack as is and post-combat play Gadok Teague. Next turn we go for the win. Alright. So next turn we can just cast Keen Sense on Core Spirit Dancer with first strike, and then put the Grispoon on the Core Spirit Dancer without it, and then we'll have 5 first strike, and then we'll have more than 10 lethal, so we'll be able to do the Infect route. Alright, looks like they're going for it here. I guess they do have the dismember, potentially. Although life loss would be different. So they're doing spoils of the vault. Choice Thassa's Oracle. So a really good sideboard card against Ad Nauseam is your own Angel's Grace, because in response to them going off, you can stop them from winning the game. Oh, cool. So they just drew their whole deck then. Alright. Turns out Thassa's Oracle is just absolutely on freaking steroids, and they don't even need Ad Nauseam to beat us. They just need double spoil of the vaults. That's pretty interesting. I didn't realize that. Yeah, so they did bring in Echoing Truth, a Bontus as well. And that looks like about it. Echoing Truth, Bontus, yep. Did they trim on Ad Nauseam numbers? Unless they had 2 Ad Nauseam in hand, they might have trimmed on 1 or 2 copies of it. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, so first game there, not quite what we wanted, but that's all good. It's only game 1, and it is a pretty difficult matchup if you're not packing Stony Silence. And depending on, you know, if you draw your Answer Piece, if they draw, it depends on what half of their deck they draw as to whether or not you actually stand a chance or not. Okay, so we're going to be back here for round 2. Looks like we won the die roll this time. James Baked. Alright. Very interesting name. It's quite interesting that he's his green elemental thing as well. It's pretty funky. Alright, we'll keep this. Not a super powerful hand, but you know, Suppression Field's good, Core Spirit Dance is good. We got 2 of the cores. If they thought seize away our Keen Sense, we can of course potentially get it back with Lurus later on. So this Windswept Heath is going to have to go for a white source, I believe, because we don't currently have double white for Daybreak Coronet here. We will go ahead and use the Razorverge Thicket there. We're good. Alright, looks like our opponent's going to BRB, so I'll just pause the video. Okay, so it does look like my opponent's back. Looks like it could be a Bloom Moon deck. They did play the Stomp there. It's the Savage Stomp, I should say. Oh, no, it's just Stomp. It should be Savage Swamp. It's pretty brutal. Okay. Wow. Alright, so what we're going to go ahead and do here is we're going to cast our Core Spirit Dancer. We're going to put some Totem Armor down on Core Spirit Dancer because they are running burn removal. And yeah, our opponent said this is the 3rd match in a row that they've versed Bogles. He did specifically say Bogles, not Bogle. 2 Gs. As for Todd, oh damn, it's Electro Dominance, is it? That's going to be really annoying. Crashing Foothills, we can beat the Crashing Foothills. Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is cast Rancor, see what we draw. Probably should have cast that off of the Forest, but that's alright. We might just be able to kill them this turn. Or we cast Suppression Field here. We've got 4, 5, 6. So we can put him to 2. That's not dead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assure ourselves against restore balance by casting this suppression field here. That way they can't pay the sacrifice without paying mana. And now we just wait and chill and look to kill next turn. Alright, so we get there. I'm going to assume suppression field was good. So we do want the Gadok Tig, I think. Yeah, it stops the Electro Dominance half of his combo. Then we're going to want these Force of Vigors to destroy his silly enchantments. And do we really want anything else? We might want to exile their graveyard. I don't think so, though. I think creature removal is going to be pretty bad, but it might come in handy, maybe. Shave at least one core Spirit Dancer. These Griffspins were really just very, very good then. I think Sentinel's Eyes is pretty good. Keen Sense might be a little slow, but then again, it might be really good at drawing us back into the game after our opponent sweeps the board. I'm going to remove Savage Swipe. Like, they could be good for getting rid of one of the dinos, Rhino dinos. But I'm not seeing a lot of spots to play with here. Maybe one core out, one Savage Swipe in. We are adding 2 Gadok Tig, so our creature count won't be too low by doing this. Damn, restore balance. So yeah, also blue-red, we got to be aware of Blood Moons. So these Force of Vigors are going to be particularly nicer. Okay, this looks like a pretty solid keep to me. Hopefully he's got the Rhino half of his deck. And that he tries to raise our life total. So the suspended Ancestral Visions here. We drew another Boggle. Or another Scout, sorry. So, yeah, main thing to worry about here is not playing into like an Anger of the Gods or something. We do have a couple of different auras to get our toughness up. I'm going to lead on the Hyena Umbra here. Hopefully it resolves. Alright, now we're going to go Ethereal Armor. If that resolves, we're past Anger of the Gods. Alright, we have gotten past Anger of the Gods. So opponent's going to have to restore balance here, even if he can't sack his lands. Okay, they've just conceded. I guess they had creature removal or something. And yeah, wasn't quite good enough for them. Maybe they just needed to draw a critical card, or maybe they were just hanging on the strength of Anger of the Gods. Not really sure. Not really sure. So deck I versed first. It was Ad Nauseam, wasn't it? Okay. Forgotten Ad Nauseam tab? I don't think so. Can't really be bothered adding one. Alright, so we did win the die roll. Pretty nice, pretty nice. We'll choose to play first. We've got our companion here. Looks like our opponent, if their summoner icon is anything to go off of. Looks like they've got... No, they've got... Okay, so I think Humans is the deck that is running this card. I don't think this hand is hugely good against Humans. I think we want Daybreak Coronet. Alright, this one has Daybreak, but it's a little bit weak to Reflector Mage. I think it's still good enough to keep. And then we'll just get rid of this Keen Sense. Hopefully we don't run into a Thalia here, or... Oh, they can't play Thalia on turn 1. That would be a turn 2 play. Oh, yikes. Is this... Gemstone Mine into Aether Vial? That's interesting. Interesting. Alright, we do draw land, so that's going to be nice. If they do play Thalia, it's not going to hurt us too bad. Maybe it's just like a budget land base, like a replacement for Cavern of Souls or something. I think we can rest assured that our opponent either doesn't have another land. Okay, maybe that's why. So the Ancient Ziggurat. So yeah, maybe Gemstones is just a replacement for Cavern there. Ancient Ziggurat can't cast the Aether Vial, so I was going to say maybe they had a 1-land hand, but maybe it was a 2-land hand with Ancient Ziggurat being the other land. So we'll see if they name Daybreak Coronet here. It's almost certainly correct to do so. They could name Core Spirit Dancer, and that would show that they've got a Reflector Mage in hand. Alright, so we can't cast our Daybreak Coronet, but we can cast everything else. We can get a big attack in here. We get the Ethereal Armor. That's really nice. I might save the Ethereal Armor though. Daybreak Coronet's a bit of a blank. If we can draw into this Savage Swipe, we will be able to do some damage here though. I might just cast the Ethereal Armor, get that extra damage in now. We draw a second Core Spirit Dancer. It's not really where we want to be. I'd be much happier if that was a Boggle at this stage, considering what we're versing and the scary stuff they can do right now. So hopefully they brick on land or don't have the Reflector Mage or the Deputy of Detention. Alright, we did scrape through. I think that was quite scary, even though it was... I said scrape through. It was kind of convincing, but it was also quite scary. Alright, so we are going to want these Torpor Orbs. I think Suppression Field's probably a little bit weak here. And we might also want these Force of Vigors to deal with Aether Vial, potentially. We'll just look at what we would potentially take out. Like Keen Sense, we could trim on 1 Keen Sense. And other than that, maybe a Core Spirit Dancer. I think that's fine. Core Spirit Dancer, as I said before, a bit weaker in this matchup. Alright, so we do have the Bogle hand. Looks like we've got double Griffspoon. Savage Swipe could be really nice here if they lead on like a Noble Hierarch. A Champion of the Parish is... we could potentially get that as well. This could be a pretty good tempo swing. We do need to hit that second land source though and dodge a Thalia. But Vigilance is a very nice trait to have when he's cast a Champion of the Parish here. Because if he goes Meddling Mage named Daybreak Coronet, or if he goes like a Kitesail Freebooter here, we can kill the Kitesail Freebooter and then still have a Vigilance creature to attack with. Alright, it's just a Thalia's Lieutenant. That's not too bad. So we will get hit for 2 here. Hopefully we draw that land and we can answer the champion. Answering champion here would be really, really good for us. Alright, we don't get it. So right now I'm just going to cast Sentinel's Eyes, get an attack for 2 in, and potentially block Thalia's Lieutenant if they're clogged up full of 3-drops in their hand. Or maybe they play a non-human spell. Alright, that's a Phantasmal Image, so copy Thalia's Lieutenant. It's going to be a pretty big attack here. So if we draw land this next turn, we just slam this Daybreak Coronet. We can't block, we just need to take the 8 here. We do draw land, so Daybreak and hit. We'd be gaining more life here if we played Ethereal Armor last turn. We are also opening ourselves up to get 2 for 1 with a Knight of Autumn or Deputy of Detention here. So he did draw the 3rd land this turn. We'll see what his 3-drop effect is. Maybe it's just a Mantis Rider. If we get to keep Daybreak Coronet for our next turn, we're going to be pretty happy. Another Thalia's Lieutenant. Wow. Okay, I think we're in a really good spot here to take this. So unless he's got another human, he can only attack with Champion of the Parish. Okay. We can do this. We can do this. So cast Ethereal Armor, where they're going to go ahead and attack. Hopefully he blocks with this small Thalia, and then we can fight the big one afterwards. Okay, perfect. So this is really, really good card advantage for us here. It's going to do a lot to the board state for us, and we'll gain life twice. Okay, excellent, excellent. So we're back up to 20. Next turn we can jam Flying and attack for the win potentially if we can cast both of them. When it enters the battlefield, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. Okay. Goodbye, Savage Swipe. That's not really the biggest deal in the world. So we draw our 3rd copy of Griffsburn, and we're just going to have a pretty convincing attack here. Put him to 1. Opponent's a little salty here. Opponent's a little bit salty, but like his deck interacts with ours better than most, and I don't think that's, you know, a warranted complaint there just because he kept a bad hand, because that in all honesty was just a pretty bad hand. He didn't do anything. It didn't have a plan against Daybreak Coronet. It didn't have a way to deal with us. Like, so humans is an actual deck, so I will add in a tab because I seem to be missing a tab. Or it's an actual deck I can be bothered keeping track against. Alright, so on to round 4 here. Okay, so we're gonna keep this. We lost the die roll. We're gonna keep the hand. It's a Lurus deck. Hopefully we don't get Inquisitioned. So it's burn potentially. All right, Razorverge Thicket, please. That'd be really, really nice here. Or Daybreak, Horizon Canopy. I mean, a land's a land. Mishu's Bobble, double Mishu's Bobble. Okay. So they're going to see this draw. They're going to see our next draw. All right. So that is the Daybreak Coronet. So if we can survive till our third turn of the game, we'll be able to pretty much win from there. They also know our next draw. Hopefully no Eidolon. Eidolon could make things a bit dicey, especially when we're taking damage from Horizon Canopy. It's an attack for 2. We get a Temple Garden. No blocks from us. Light up the stage. Okay. Oh wow, exile. So it doesn't go to normal exile. They've patched it so it goes up there instead now. That's interesting. So they've learnt the top card of our library twice here. Rancor. I guess they would have seen it with the attack trigger. Oh no, they put Temple Garden into hand with the attack trigger. Alright, so we might as well shock in this Temple Garden here. We'll put down our Rancor, we'll put down our Ethereal Armor, and then we'll look to hold up blockers. And next turn we can attack for what should be lethal. Well, not necessarily lethal, but we'll have the Daybreak Coronet gaining us life, right? Hopefully no... what's it called? The card that stops us gaining life. Red and 1. I can't remember the name of the card at the moment. Alright, so he knows we've got the Daybreak Coronet. Holding up blockers then was good enough in that scenario. So we will want the Ley Lines. We will want the Force of Vigors to help deal with Eidolon. Other than that, Savage Swipe's going to still be good. This flying isn't very relevant. I might just end up taking out all of the copies. I'll just take out 2 for now. Suppression Field's a bit weak too. Even though they've got the Lurus and the Mishu's Bobble, I don't think spending 2 mana to cast a Suppression Field is ever where we want to be against burn. So bringing in Leyline does switch off Lurus, but I don't think that's an issue. I don't think we want Graveyard Hate against them either. The question is, do we want to just remove all copies of Core Spirit Dancer and leave in those Griffspoon? I think it could potentially be a yes as for the answer there. Like, the likelihood of our Core Spirit Dancer not dying is so freaking low. Like, I mean, we're much more likely to have a Dried Arbor live through Totem Armor than what we are to have a Core Spirit Dancer live. Alright, so 2 pretty useless hands here. Alright, we'll keep this third hand. This hand's really good. So we'll get rid of the Windswept Heath. And we either need to get rid of a land or a Keen Sense here. I think we can get rid of the Keen Sense. There's more auras in our deck, I believe, than what there are lands. Let me just double check that real quick. So, yeah, we got 21 auras there, and we didn't take out a single aura. So I think we're pretty good to bottom the Keen Sense and look for a better aura. Maybe not. Alright, I'm going to bottom the land. I don't know, mathematically it's right, but also the Keen Sense can help us draw to the second land, so... It's also pitchable to Force of Vigor, although so slippery Boggle. Soulscale Mage, this looks more to be like a mono red prowess, and I do like removing Core Spirit Dancer more against mono red prowess than what I do against burn. Alright, so Nothing too exciting from our opponents so far. They could have a turn 3 Blood Moon. Although they did shock in a Sacred Foundry, so maybe not. I'm gonna like pretend I have Path to Exile here or something. I was gonna cast a Slippery Boggle, but if they cast Blood Moon here, it's really bad. Abbot of the Real Keep. Wow. That's a standard card. Oh, damn. So no Blood Moon to worry about. Just a bunch of 1-power creatures attacking us. He's probably got some burn in hand, which he can't offload yet. And then we can cast Daybreak Coronet and attack for 4, gain some life, draw a card. Because I assume they're not going to be blocking. Alright. So they can deal a little bit more damage to us here with the Lava Dart. It was wrong to shock in that Temple Garden, by the way. That was 2 points of damage we shouldn't have taken. Alright, we do draw the Horizon Canopy there. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. We'll see what we draw off the Keen Sense if we make contact. Alright, we draw a Windswept Heath. So I'm going to just go ahead and drop the Horizon Canopy. Use that to cast the second blocker that we've got. And I'm probably going to use that... I don't know, I might use it to block Abbot of the Real Keep. Deals the most damage. Let's cast a second Abbot of the Real Keep. Seal of Fire is not going to do very much. He can target his own creature with it and prowess the rest. Alright, looks like that's what he's doing. Oh, just casting it? Sorry. Gives prowess without targeting anything, right. That's pretty nifty. So this is quite interesting. We've sort of got to play around a few things. I think we just want to block the Soul Scour and the Abbot. So this way, if he Lava Darts his creature, he'll get 2 prowess triggers and be dealing 8. And he won't be able to take out our Glade Cover Scout with a prowess trigger. So he might choose to Seal of Fire his own Abbot here to stop us from gaining life. He doesn't. Oh, he can flashback 2 here. Sorry, I made a pretty big mistake. A really big mistake here. I thought he could only flashback 1. I've just tanked this game. Alright. That was bad. Yeah. I forgot he still had that in the graveyard. I thought he cast it twice. Alright, well that was really bad. He's got 0 cards in hand. He's got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 power on board. We've got 7 life. So our best move is get Dryad Arbor. Enchant the Dryad Arbor and block an Abbot. And then hope he doesn't draw anything that triggers prowess. Yeah, that was really bad. Oh, yep. Okay, no, he had Seal of Fire up, so we just lose that game. That's fine. Alright, so I tanked that game really hard. That was a very big mistake for me. I'm just going to go into this game with the same list. I don't think I want Core Spirit Dancer. I should have checked the graveyard. That was really, really silly. So this hand will be pretty reasonable as long as they don't have Soul Scour Mage, is it? I think that's the name of the card. I'm going to get rid of our Flying Aura. Keep this, get rid of our Flying Aura. And then we can play Aura plus Savage Swipe his creature on our first turn, which is going to be pretty strong. And then I'm just going to hope that that creature's not Soul Scour Mage, basically. Alright, so it's a Goblin Guide attack here. What's he revealing? A forest? We draw that. Well, free land is a free land. We're going to go ahead and remove this Goblin Guide now. So Horizon Canopy, we'll give our Dried Arbor first strike. And then we'll Savage Swipe. Tapping Dried Arbor. So hopefully we draw to another white source here and can cast Daybreak Coronet. Alright, so it looks like my opponent drew the Swift Spear. He's missed a land drop as well. Alright, no, he has got the land drop, he just played it later. Disenchant. Okay, that's an important one to know about. Looks like we have to race here. They could potentially cast Disenchant plus getting rid of the Hyena Umbra plus Seal of Fire and then destroy Dried Arbor. That would be really bad for us. Fuck. Alright, well, if they do that line, which I assume they're going to, we're pretty boned. Are they going to wait for extra value and, like, cash in on the aura we play this turn? That'd be really bad for them if we were playing Dramoka's Command and they did that line. Yeah, okay, well... Yep. Not good. Not good. Hopefully we draw a Glade Cover Scout here. Okay. Come on. Yes. Alright. Good draw. Good draw. Now our life total is really low. I think we still have to attack though. Maybe not. Oh wait, we got Summoning Sickness. We can't attack. Duh. Okay, okay, let's see what my opponent does here. They've got Lurrus, which means they can recast Seal of Fire. Okay, so that makes sense why they're playing Seal of Fire, if they can reoccur it with the Lurrus. It's pretty nifty. An attack for 3 isn't backbreaking. Hopefully we can draw that land source finally. White source, come on, come on, come on. Show me potato salad? No. Far out. Alright, so I think we just look to leave up a chump blocker here. We're getting really, really low. We're not going to race Lurrus, right? So... they've seen the top card of our library. This is so bad that we've missed out on a white source for so many turns. We drew the forest as well, which is what's even more feels bad. That was off the first attack by Goblin Guide. So yeah, here if he does his thing, attack, we're blocking the Lurrus. And just taking whatever damage this stupid Swiss Spear's throwing at us. Although the Swift Spear can just kill us, so maybe we have to chump block Swift Spear, lose our Totem Armor, and then look to... They've recast Goblin Guide? You kidding me? Holy moly. That's bad. With a Lava Dart in hand. Yikes, I think we'll just lose this. Alright, well, let's block the Lurrus. What was on top of our library? Griffspoon, so we're not even getting there anyway. Maybe we could have mulliganed a little more aggressively and got there, but we didn't this time. Oh, he's got Path for his own Lurrus as well. That's some next level swagger. He's got it all. Take exact damage, and then he can seal the fire to do an extra 2. We draw Griffspoon, and we're boned. Yeah. I wonder if he's going to just do the seal of fire and try to get that extra damage in the Lava Dart and just... So that's 3, 4, 5. So yeah, he's got us for 10 this turn. Is he typing something that I need to respond to? I'm not sure. Alright, so it looks like he wasn't typing anything particularly interesting, and maybe got distracted by something else or sending a message, who knows. Yeah, a little unlucky. I did tank game 2 though. That probably should have been a win if I didn't throw game 2 like that. All I needed to do was look at the graveyard, see that he had a third spell he could cast, and or a second Lava Dart that he could flash back. And as soon as I realised that, we would have been in a much better spot and not needed to chump block. But that was, yeah, real silly from me. Really, really silly. Alright, so we don't have any auras in this hand. Our opponent is also a Lurrus deck, and we are on the draw. So I'm going to go ahead and mulligan this. This hand's no good. This hand's equally as garbage. And alright, this hand's still shit. And this hand's got no land. I guess we could hope to draw land and hope to get there from that. I think that's going to be better than going to 3. So we'll get rid of 1, 2, and 3. And play it in case our opponent has a discard effect. Alright, so they targeted themselves with that. That's interesting. Guess they've had a choice between fetching and not fetching. Alright, we do get lucky. We do draw the land. I was pretty much just going to see one more card from my opponent then and then concede. But it seems we drew the land. I'm pretty happy to go ahead and cast our Boggle here. I assume he's holding up like a Fatal Push effect or something there. The fact he shocked it in. He could also just be a Death Shadow deck as well. Puts kind of a lot of emphasis on Griffspoon being good for us against them. Gonna go ahead and try to cast Rancor here. If he's got the Stubborn Denial, that will suck, but we can go long with Lurrus as well. He does have Stubborn Denial, so this is a Death Shadow deck, I'm almost certain, like a Grixis Death Shadow with Lurrus. Maybe a Traverse Shadow with him, I'm not sure. But we will have to worry about Death Shadow, and I have a feeling like that attack is ticking them down closer to it. But also, I don't really like just sitting here and doing nothing, so... Okay, they didn't shock in the Blood Crypt, but they are in Grixis colors. Basically, all we have to do is get to mana to cast Lurrus, and then we can start casting stuff from our graveyard. Is this a Gomag Angler? They've just hardcast a Lurrus here. Okay. That's fair enough. We're pretty far away from doing anything at the moment. With the... They targeted us with that one. Alright, so we do get the Rancor here. Here it's... I actually value attacking. If he's willing to trade... Actually, I might do that on the blocking. Because I assume he's going to attack us. That's going to be less transparent. If he's willing to... Although they get to draw an extra card this way. Yikes. Well, there goes the Daybreak Coronet. If he does attack here, I'm very, very tempted just to trade. This looks like more of a control deck, potentially. He's looked at the top card of our library. He's fetched his own, shuffling his library. Is this going to be the Gurmag Angler now? No. Oh, wait, no, they can't play Gurmag Angler and Lurrus in the same deck. That's silly of me. Maybe just, yeah, Grixis control. Win condition of lightning bolts and snapcasters. Okay, he does have the Death Shadow. I don't think the Keen Sense is going to be that important. He's holding up Stubborn Denial mana too. I'm going to cast a Glade Cover Scout there as a blocker. I can't attack. Looks like my opponent was smart and he didn't trade the Lurrus off with my Boggle. He's bolted himself to grow the Death Shadow. Has he got Team of Battle Rage here for the win? So he's growing the Death Shadow even bigger here. He should have known that the Keen Sense was in hand. We don't have Daybreak Coronet here. If he doesn't have Team of Battle Rage, okay, he does have it. So that's a GG. So we'll pick to pieces a little bit, but that was a mulligan to 5, and no, mulligan to 4. Sorry. All right, so we're gonna want these ley lines. They're gonna be good. We might actually want to bring in Lurrus here. Could be quite good. Dealing with our opponent's graveyard is going to be important, I'm assuming. A Savage Swipe seems pretty medium. It might be okay. Let's go ahead and put them in the maybe pile. For some reason I've dragged my Boggle with it. Not really loving Keen Sense here either. They're going to... Pretty sure they're just going to leave in some answers for Core Spirit Dancer, so we can take one of her out as well. What's that looking like? Maybe the Grafdigger's Cage is just a little bit deep. I like the Suppression Field. We could landlock our opponent, and it does interact with the Mishra's Bubble. Let's go with this. Alright, well, it's a Leyline hand. Let's keep it. I'm not happy about all the creatures we've got in it, but Leyline. Good news is he's got Lurrus as his companion here, so we won't have to put up with Liliana of the Veil. We'll just pretend we're playing 2 auras here, just in case he's holding up the Stubborn Denial there. Go and run out a second Boggle. That Boggle can be good for attacking or blocking later as well. Alright, looks like they're running Opt. Okay, so we can play around Stubborn Denial here. We can get our Grispoon down as well, which is really nice. And I don't think I want to play this last Glade Cover Scout. If he's brought in like an Anger of the Gods or something, we're going to be in a pretty bad place from that. I think we just want to go ahead and attack for 5. It's going to be pretty good. What's my opponent doing here? Ether Gust. I think I'm pretty happy having that on the top. Does that change anything? I still don't think I want to play this other scout yet. It's a tough game. Not having many auras to continuously jam is quite a sad feat. Double Death Shadow. Alright, so here I think I do want to go ahead and cycle this Horizon Canopy. We're probably going to be in a position where we're just hoping that our opponent doesn't have Team of Battle Rage. If he has Team of Battle Rage, we're pretty dead. If he doesn't have Team of Battle Rage... Let's see if he's holding up the Stubborn Denial. I assume he is. Wow, okay. So we'll play like he doesn't have the Team of Battle Rage because we just can't beat that card. Ether Gust was a pretty interesting inclusion. I'm not sure what that's for. What they've got that in there for. What deck? But I know more control-y decks play it. But yeah, it's pretty interesting that this opponent's got it. So he looked at the top of his own library then. He's now using the fetch, shuffling that card away, going down to 1. So I assume he's got the Teamer here. Alright. So I couldn't beat Team of Battle Rage. My best move was jump block, attack for the win. Yeah. Can't do anything about that hand really. Just get trampled for 23 damage. Yikes. Well, yeah, I still think I'm happy keeping that hand. Just, yeah, really unfortunate. Damn. And I'm pretty sure if our opponent had the Stubborn Denial, he would have cast it in response to the Rancor. And the Ether Gust looks like it was perfect. It stopped us from getting to our Daybreak Coronet, where, yeah, I guess it wouldn't have mattered either way, really. We would have had a Vigilance creature. If he cast Daybreak, if he cast a Sorcery Speed Team or Battle Rage like what he did, maybe we could have blocked with the Enchanted Scout on one of his Death Shadows, on the big Death Shadow to stop all the trample damage. And then attack for 1 wide for victory, but that was rough. I don't think we were winning that match. We needed a much better hand than what we did have, and yeah, we kept a pretty iffy hand. It didn't really draw what we needed. So yeah, that's it for this this first video with this deck. I'm gonna do another series of leagues with this deck until I decide whether or not I want to change it. I do think it's in a good place, even though we didn't get the best results this league. Obviously going 2 wins, 3 losses. But yeah, we'll just keep plucking. See if we can improve the record in the future videos. Thanks for watching as always, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.